Hello there, Indiana Jones historian here, where I go over the history behind the artifacts of Indiana Jones and other topics related to this franchise that I love. Now, Indiana Jones is one of my favorite movie franchises, and just one of my favorite movies of all. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's about many interests from history to some biblical aspects, and so Indiana Jones is one of my favorite just things in general. And my second would be Supernatural, putting a weird spin of stuff from the Bible, ghosts and angels and demons, monsters, and all that. A show that went on for 15 years and is also considered one of the longest running sci-fi American shows. I'm not making that up, even though it will count as fantasy, but yeah. So Supernatural is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and Indy's my favorite movie, so what if Indiana Jones and Supernatural had a crossover? So, this is just a crossover I made, and it takes place sometime. For Indy, it takes place sometime during the original trilogy, but with the Supernatural characters, you can just say it takes place season 5 plus. You can even say it takes place in an older version of season of the later seasons, just because but yeah. So yeah. Now this goes out usually Sam, Dean, and Cass find no weird case to go on a hunt for. But this one is very strange, even more so than any other case. Well, so Indy's dealing with some time travel shenanigans that could open a portal into the future, and the artifact being searched after by Klaus Smith and other Nazis. And then Sam and Dean and Castile find something that could bring them back, that could take them back in time. That's even more powerful than even angel powers. And all of them are generally trying to see what it is. Is it just a rumor, or what is it? And then they get zapped back in time, and they meet up with Indy. Indy's just like, "You alright?" As he then questions who they are, and they're from after dealing with some Nazis. And Indy generally asks, "Who are they?" Well, Sam and Dean are gonna, after that whole time travel incident, they explain how they're hunters, and how Cass is an angel, and how they're dealing with a case that involves time travel. Now, Sam and Dean explain how monsters, demons, and angels are all real. Indy's not really bothered by this. Well, meanwhile, Bobby back in the present day is trying to find a way to get Sam, Dean, and Cass back to the present. And then Indy explains to them that the Nazis want this time travel thing called the Spear of Time. And Sam and Dean said that what they were after on this hunt. So Sam, Dean, Cass, and they all agree that they have to find it before Nazis do. Before they take over. Before they can use it to take over the world. And yeah. And then they would later meet up with Short Round, because might as well get Short Round in here. And Short Round's just he's just asking them all different questions. Whilst Indy's not really phased by this. Indy's he can basically go with the flow whenever there's a weird thing. He's just more worried about what the Nazis would do with it. Same with Sam and Dean. They could take over the world. Especially when they kind of have this feeling that how they already saw the Nazi with eyes. And then Sam, Dean, and then after they go on their expedition, Sam, Dean are kidnapped by Nazis. And they're questioning who they are was. Meanwhile, Indy and Indy's going to try to find where they are was also, as he then see how those multiple Nazis are surrounding them, as they finally make it to Temple of Time, and they know they're gonna have to fight their way through that. Meanwhile, in the present day, Bobby's doing some research to do some things and find a way that he could bring back Sam and Dean back to present day. Short round, Indy and Cass are fighting through Nazis, but they have magical powers. Cass is generally strangers out by this. There should be normal people. So much so that he thinks about using his powers on them, but doesn't want to because they don't know what that could mean for timeline. So yeah. And then Sam and Dean realize who the demon is. It's Azazel. Azazel's just pointing out this is before even Mary would be born. Azazel's just confused about who these two are, and even questioning where the coat is. He used the Nazis just so that he can go back in time and stop Bruce from being trapped in a cage. As after Sam and Dean break loose, they meet up with Indy's short round and everyone in Cass, and they're gonna have to stop the Nazis from using it. As short round and Cass are separated, and then Cass, noticing how they're being surrounded by Nazis, decides to use his powers on them because figured how they're actually possessed by demons. And Cass uses his powers on them, and then on regular Nazis, and they all get killed by Cass. And Cass say short while after all the Nazis are dead, and as all the Nazis see the power of get killed by Cass, Azazel's trying to get the Spear of Time to make sure that he can go back and go forward in time and stop and kickstart the apocalypse even sooner. Cass finally meets up with Indy, Sam, Dean, and Short Round as they all try and stop Azazel from getting the time. As Short Round makes a distracting Azazel as Sam and Dean take the moon super summon and all about to kill him before Azazel break free. And Sam and Dean are gonna say to Indy that he should warn to awful Winchester about done something in 1958. But then the temple starts collapsing, and Sam Dean, as Indian Team Free Will, has to get out of there. Then a portal opens up. A portal that can bring them back to time, back forward, and back to the present day. Cass knows this and explains how that portal could bring them back to the present day so that they wouldn't be trapped in the 1930s. Sam goes force, and then Indy talks to Dean about what happens in the future. She's like, that's what happens? As he just questions everything as Dean goes, yeah, trust me, we may get get worse, but I always carry on. As then, while sort of short while just asking Cass so many questions about being Angel and how to, like as Cass says, you and Indy have a good bond. You two are like father and son. As then Sam, Dean, and Cass meet up with Bobby, and they question how were they able to get them back to, as they go through the how was he able to get the portal to be open? And then he reveals he had a little help from Lena as Lena goes, "Hello, Samuel." I can't do a Scottish accent for the life of me. He was out the time staff was actually a magical fact to control time. While Sam Dean just go. While Sam Dean decides how they're gonna. Sam Dean and Cass decides how they're gonna have to go and find the Ark of the Covenant. As Indy Shortwound, as Indy and Shortwound do it, they always do and ride off to the sunset, and that's the end of the story. I'm not like it. So yeah, see you next time, archaeologists, on another adventure with Indiana Jones, and God bless.